All right, Johnny Mac, how big a concern is this that the Eagles seem to be a much better first half team than second half team in their 6 games? And a good Tuesday get-together here on the JAKIB YouTube channel. This is Birds 365 with your Mac and Mac guys, John McMullen and Jody McDonald. And yes, we're still basking in the glow. A little bit of a victory over the Dallas Cowboys, the team the Eagles have had some problems with over the last 4 years. Maybe not so much this year with their victory on Sunday night in front of a packed house at Lincoln Financial Field. Good day to be a Philadelphia sports fan, J-Mac. Eagles 6-0, Sixers start tonight. Phillies get the NLCS underway. The whole city should just be enveloped in the fact that they've got the only undefeated football team here in town, but they're getting to share the spotlight a little with some of the other sports teams here in the city.
Yeah, maybe it's good for the Eagles because they're always typically the story. The Flyers have got to, we got to give Kevin Kincaid a shout out with the Philadelphia Union. They're really good. Throw them in the mix. Yeah, I mean, usually it's all Eagles all the time. That's why we exist. It's still all Eagles all the time, let's be honest. But it's probably nice for the Eagles to have a little respite where people are going to pay a lot of attention to the Phillies this week.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Pander-in-Chief back yesterday?
Yeah. He had the Phillies hoodie on. I'm sure he took it off immediately when the Zoom was turned off. It goes
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah.
Went with the Philly red. Here's where I want to go. And we got a lot to break down, telling DeMarcus Lawrence to shut up. He kind of kept a low profile after the game after having anything but a low profile leading into it. Russell Wilson struggling again last night. Where did Russell Wilson go? I know he's a little banged up, but damn, did the Eagles dodge a bullet on that one. But before we even go there, the Pander-in-Chief, who came up with that nickname, by the way? I want to give credit to the person.
I think I did.
Was you?
I believe.
Hey, I'll give you the credit.
I have never heard anyone else use it.
Okay, Johnny Mac. I got to tell you, I flat out love it because that is, and it's said with a smile on the face, or at least it is by me.
I like Nick a lot, but I think that kind of stuff is silly. Like I was talking to Jordan Davis last week. And somebody that shall remain nameless, he's obviously went to Georgia. He's from, I think, South Carolina, but he's a Braves fan, and he had a Braves hat in his locker, and he said, "You better hide that." And I'm like, "Why is he going to hide? He's a Braves fan. He's not from here. He's allowed to do what he wants to do." It bothers me that people expect. Janelle Pumphrey used to wear his love of Los Angeles on the, he loved the Dodgers, the Lakers. He would also often wear Dodgers gear or Lakers gear, and he'd get killed for it. Now more because he didn't succeed as a player, so it gets enveloped into, people see him wearing that. I always thought it's just nonsense, and you have to come into the city you happen to get hired in, because that's what it is. This is professional sports. Right. This is a job. Well, if I leave Philadelphia tomorrow and go cover Houston, I'm not becoming a Texans fan, which shockingly a lot of people think. If you cover the team, I get this every day. Oh, you must love the Eagles. You have to love the Eagles. No, I have to cover the Eagles. I have to objectively report on the Eagles. It win, lose, or draw, it's not affecting my job. So same thing with the athletes, in a different way, obviously a different tint. They very much want to win. Jordan Davis very much wants the Philadelphia Eagles to win. You don't give a rat's ass if the Philadelphia Phillies win. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
there's nothing wrong with that.
How many calls I've taken on that very thing over the years. Don Brown used to be the Philly outfielder who for a minute was an all-star and then kind of evaporated for the rest of his career. Was a big Dallas Cowboy fan, went to an Eagle Cowboy game, and how dare he? We should run him out of Philadelphia. Should not be allowed to play for a Philadelphia team if you don the Dallas Cowboy hat. I would then respond with, and Rasheed Wallace, who's a Philly guy, who played all over the NBA, who used to wear his Flyers sweater everywhere.
Yeah.
Is he a fraud? Is he a
Or
bad
Mike
dude
Trout,
because
who
he
was
takes
there
his
again.
Philadelphia fandom to his cities in which he played? Oh, no, that's cool. You're so myopic and so transparent. It's just all about Philadelphia. It's got nothing to do with what's right or wrong or what can be done or what's a violation.
And everybody loves Mike Trout, and he's at the Eagles game again on Monday night, and uh, people would say, "Well, Mike Trout's going to sign with the Phillies because he loves the," I mean, he got the big check. Yeah, and Mike did the right thing for his life and his. I mean, he can come back and watch Eagles games. The funny thing about that, yeah, he's got enough money, so
he is a true fan. But I love the nickname you made up, Pander in Chief. And yesterday, the coach had the Phillies red on. Good for him. I got no problems with it. And if you say he just does it for effect when he's doing video conferences, I get it. But I was disappointed yesterday. Nick Sirianni should not have had on a Philadelphia Phillies hoodie. There was a better direction to go. And it did amaze me. Have you seen the T-shirts about Jose Alvarado of the Phillies?
I have not.
He came out with a statement. It was 10 days ago, 2 weeks max. Strike one, strike two, good luck. And it was a great quote. And damn if within like 48 hours, 72 hours max, they had T-shirts made up. Strike one, strike two, good luck, with Alvarado's framing on the shirt. And I saw them at the game on Friday for the NLCS. And I just thought it was phenomenal. I was surprised. I Googled this morning, Johnny Mack, and if you Google Alvarado strike one, strike two, you'll get 5, 6, 7, 8 different companies that are.
Oh yeah, those t-shirt people are quick, man.
They really are, and I'm kind of disappointed because we're now here on Tuesday morning. I went to Google this morning. I thought maybe I'd be able to order one, a Stoutland University T-shirt. I thought we'd have that already, and I thought there was a good chance that the coach would be wearing that in yesterday's Zoom Fest because he does like to take advantage of his platform, be it on Zoom, to talk to you guys and Eagle fans all across the Delaware Valley. I thought we'd already have a Stoutland University T-shirt, Johnny Mack. Are we slipping here in this town?
Maybe I think, and I don't know. I mean, the T-shirt people can chime in here because I think they have to take advantage of the urgency of the Phillies run. So I think they're more focused on that because Eagles you can spend a little time on. I think,
okay,
and you don't have to have that. You gotta seize the moment with Phillies, Sixers, Flyers. If they're making a run, you gotta seize that moment. With the Eagles, it's sort of like Birds 365. You can relax. You're good, but you want to be the first too. So there's constantly.
I was a little surprised, and I thought if anybody would have it, it would be the Pander in Chief of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, he'll get it because people send him these T-shirts he wears, so he gets all these free T-shirts. And so if you're a T-shirt guy, send him a T-shirt, and he might wear it. He might wear your T-shirt. But yeah, he'll get it eventually when it does come across his desk, and he'll probably wear it at some point, I would think. And he does. Yeah. I mean, Nick's a great guy, but yeah, I was, the funny thing about the Phillies and the Sixers and the Flyers haven't been good recently, but the funny thing about that stuff is you'll see the green stuff underneath usually. If you're live, sometimes you can hide it better in Zoom. And as I said, one of the Eagles PR guys is right off stage ready to give him back his Eagles sweatshirt. Yeah, I just have fun with it. I get why he does it, but.
And I thought he could have a little fun with his Studley offensive line coach yesterday. But if the enterprising T-shirt people in this town, and there are plenty, and they're really good, aren't quite up to speed.
And by the way, not that he needs it, but Jordan Mailata should trademark that, and Well, he'd probably give it to Stoutland, but Jose Alvarado, he should trade. He should trademark that right away. But you can't do it quick enough for
Well,
these people.
once upon a trademarking is something that isn't as easy as you would think it is,
Yeah.
because yours truly, many moons ago, coined the phrase "flyered up" when the Philadelphia Flyers were a very good team in a year where they had a chance to make a Stanley Cup playoff. And I said it on the air, and someone suggested I should. And I made one inquiring phone call, and there was a lot of work behind this. And I said, okay, thank you very much. And boom, down with the phone and down with any
So I
trademark.
shouldn't try to trademark Panderer in Chief.
You can, but I'm telling you, Jay, you
Too much work. No, I don't have
four
enough time.
days of your life to make all the
I
phone
don't
calls
have
and
enough
fill
time.
out all the
You know,
paperwork.
the most silly one of all was Pat Riley, right? Three-peat. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, Pat, stop.
Yeah,
But
he
tried.
he made a chunk of change on that. He actually pulled it off. He did trademark it. So I'll give him at least that. I couldn't never like Pat Riley, never will like Pat Riley. I could tell you Pat Riley
Well,
stories
yeah.
that nobody cares about here on Birds 365, but I'll give him the nod for that one. But yeah, many years ago, flyered up was a phrase that I coined, and oh yeah, the flyered up t-shirts came out and somebody else made money on it. But don't kid yourself, that was a Jody McDonald creation. Somebody should take advantage of Stoutland University, because in the moment on Sunday Night Football, it was great. And it's so fitting and on point for how important he is for the Philadelphia Eagles, for Jordan Mister, 7th round draft pick by Lotta, now Pro Bowl level left tackle. It all adds up. And for a Philadelphia Eagles fan, it's something you should be able to get your hands on. All right. One other thing from the Pandering Chief yesterday, which I did like. He was asked to address the difference between the first half Philadelphia Eagles and the second half Philadelphia Eagles. You chalked it up to human nature, that they come off the throttle a little bit, that they got a lead, sense of urgency, all those things. But the numbers are the numbers. They're far and away the highest scoring team in the NFL in the first half. I think I read, maybe it was Reuben Frank's column or somebody's column today, fourth most in the history of the NFL, first half scoring, and the most since the 2020 Rams, 21 points a game in just the first half so far this year. But then for varying reasons, they haven't put up near as many points. In a couple of games, they've had to go into their, we're going to use the ball control drive to end this game and run it right down your throats, which is an accomplishment into itself. But he did address it yesterday. He said, yeah, we got to do a little more scoring in the second, because I don't want my father to get nervous. And my father's got to sweat it out at home because we're not putting the games away the way that we want. I love that. He does make reference to his history and his background and where he comes from and worrying about his dad. That's just another reason why you got to like a guy like Nick Sirianni. But he was talking about a legit concern. All right, Johnny Mac, how big a concern is this, that the Eagles seem to be a much better first half team than second half team in their 6 games?
Well, I don't think it's been a problem at all in the first half, and we'll say half before the bye. They're 6-0, so how big of a problem can it be? He kind of made reference. He used different terminology than what I did, but he said the second half is played a bit differently. So you want to finish the game if you got a big lead. You shift gears a little bit. It's common sense. Now, I think, in the modern NFL, people have seen so many 13 seconds. I mean, would be the most famous. You think the game's over, and it's not over. And here comes Patrick Mahomes and the biggest collapse, and Buffalo's should be in the Super Bowl. They're not. And I think, people look at comebacks and they see them every week in the NFL, and they're never feeling safe. But every time the Eagles have been pushed, they've answered. They had the big drive in Arizona, the big drive at Dallas, the big drive in Detroit. They've answered. Now, would you prefer, and this is the standard that Jalen Hurts talks about, Nick Sirianni talks about, this nebulous standard, would you prefer perfection? Yes, but it's unrealistic. And that's where I use the term human nature all the time. I mean, I don't know how you combat that. If you're up 20-0, it's like city driving. I'll use a sleigh, city fumble versus country fumble. It's like city driving versus country driving. You're, in the city where you got all this traffic, you're a little bit more alert. You gotta make sure what's going on around. You're in the country, you can sit back, relax, enjoy the view, sit and it's human nature, Jody. It really is. And every time they've been challenged, they've answered. So from that standpoint, when I look at special teams, for instance, well, no, that's a problem. That's a legitimate problem that they have to clear up.
Well,
But
but
this,
let me jump in here. Why? If the answer for they score less in the second half than the first half is, yeah, but we're 6-0. Well, you can say the same thing about special teams. Yeah, the special teams. You watched it. I watched it. We can point out where their shortcomings are. Can't the answer be, yeah, but they're 6-0?
well, the difference is they have been challenged and they have answered. They haven't been challenged with the special teams mistakes, and they haven't sort of won games. Because, in other words, there hasn't been an evening of the pendulum. It's bad, 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 bad on special teams. Occasionally they were pushed in certain games and they answered. So to me, they've proven with an answer. They keep talking about special teams. Nick made a big thing about coverage and saying, yeah, it's not that bad, which is, I guess, comparatively speaking to the returns and the blocks and the bakes and all the failures there, compared to that, it's not bad. But they haven't done much good on special teams other than Jake Elliott and Aaron Cepas. You got to be fair, has bounced back after a really bad game, had 2 good games. But you don't see much good on special teams. You have seen the big drives, 13 plays, 75 yards. The Arizona 9 minutes, stinking 9 minutes, Jody. I think 8:52 was the exact number. The 4-minute drive in Detroit where they didn't give the ball back to Detroit. Yeah. So everybody's hand wringing. They didn't get the ball back. They didn't get it back. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're trying to do. That, to me, is the difference between the two categories.
That's true. Because with the offense, they have given themselves some balance. They have given themselves some wiggle room. The special teams, where has been the outstanding special teams? The outstanding first half play offensively is well on record. Don't know that there's any juncture you circle. Oh, but we're great in this game and especially even this first half of the special. Don't know that they've had that at all this year. So, good point by Johnny Mac. We'll try and continue to make them, and we'll get a helping hand next. We have moved them around. We've had them on Mondays, on Tuesdays, on Fridays. Anytime we plug them in.
Used to be Friday, Ed Kratz. Now you got to get him when you can. He's a big deal. He's a big deal.
Anytime you can get a superstar like Ed Kratz on the show, you do it whenever you can. You just plug them in, you wind them up, you let them go, and that's exactly what we're planning on doing next. Ed Kratz from Sports Illustrated can jump aboard here with the Birds 365 guys.